All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we are diving headfirst into some serious political drama. We're talking about the Philippines, and let me tell you, things are heating up over there.
Yeah, no kidding. This is one of those situations you just can't look away from.
Yeah.
And the stakes are incredibly high, especially with the 2025 midterm elections right around the corner.
Exactly. And at the center of it all is Vice President Sara Duterte. Now, this isn't just about policy disagreements or typical political maneuvering. This is personal.
Yeah, you said it. We're talking about some really strong comments, the kind that cut deep and bring up some pretty dark chapters in the nation's history.
Okay, so let's just get right to it. The quote that really threw gasoline on the fire, Duterte saying she imagined cutting off the president's head. I mean, come on, that's not exactly subtle.
Not even close. And it's even more loaded when you remember who she's talking about. President Marcos Jr., the son of the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos Sr.
Whoa, yeah. Talk about a historical echo.
Exactly. That statement just throws you right back to the Marcos regime, a period marked by authoritarian rule, human rights abuses, a time that left a deep, lasting wound on the Philippines.
It's a comparison that's almost impossible to avoid, and it definitely colors her other comments, like describing her relationship with Marcos as toxic. But Duterte's rhetoric went even further, right? There was something about a body.
Oh, yeah. In the same breath, she threatened to dig up the body of Marcos Sr. himself and toss it in the West Philippine Sea if the attacks against her didn't stop.
Wow. Okay, so you've got this incredibly inflammatory statement tied directly to this incredibly sensitive period in the nation's history. How are people reacting?
It's pretty divided, to be honest. You've got some, like Justice Secretary Romulo, who are coming out swinging. They're calling her statements disturbing, unbecoming, even implying there could be legal consequences. Then you have others, like Senator Escudero, urging everyone to take a step back, breathe a little. And of course, you always have those lawmakers who seem to be downplaying the whole thing.
It's fascinating to see those fault lines appear, how people react to something so explosive. But this isn't just about strong words, is it? Something tells me there's a much bigger game being played here.
Oh, absolutely. This is about power, plain and simple. You've got to look at the bigger picture here. Duterte's approval ratings have taken a hit recently. And then, to make things even more interesting, Congress decides to drastically slash her office's confidential funds.
So they're cutting her off at the knees, basically.
It certainly seems that way. It all points to a potential power struggle within the government, a weakening of Duterte's position.
And where do those allegations of fund misuse from her time as education secretary fit into all of this?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It definitely adds another layer of intrigue to the whole situation.
Because if those accusations have teeth, well, that could really damage her credibility.
Oh, absolutely. It could erode public trust, embolden her political opponents, give them more ammunition to use against her.
So we've got plummeting approval ratings, a public spectacle, allegations of wrongdoing, and a whole lot of political maneuvering behind the scenes. What does this all mean for Duterte's future? Is this it for her political career?
Well, it's definitely a possibility. There's already talk of impeachment proceedings being drawn up. I mean, think about it. We're just a year out from the 2025 midterm elections, and those are crucial. We're talking about control of the legislature, a whole bunch of key governorships. The outcome of these elections will directly impact the president's ability to get anything done.
So Duterte's actions could end up completely shifting the balance of power.
Exactly. If she's weakened, if the opposition can capitalize on this, it could have massive ripple effects throughout the entire political system.
It's like watching a political thriller unfold in real time. You really start to wonder, could this be a turning point, a before and after moment in Philippine politics?
It's a question worth asking. Duterte's outburst, the government's response, the public's reaction, it all feeds into this much larger narrative. I'll have to wait and see what the ultimate consequences are, but one thing's for sure. The stakes just got a whole lot higher.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive into the heart of Philippine politics. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the twists and turns as this story unfolds.
It's going to be a wild ride.